Amazing. All right, let's just start with feet wide-ish on our mat. Wobble from side to side so you get a lovely big wide base. Massage your feet around. How are we going? 8:05. Right. And then start to let your hips roll around as well. So bring that rolling, massaging action up your pelvis towards your hips. Lovely. Hands on hips. Make those circles a little bit bigger. And just check in with your shoulders, with your jaw. Give it a little wriggle. Loosen up that lower jaw. Beautiful. And then I'm going to get you to take your hips in the other direction while you take your hands up towards the ceiling. Other direction. Shoulders sliding down your back, but hands are up. Stretch out through your fingers. Make them nice and active. Big circles. Now we want to breathe underneath the armpits, from our hips up to the armpits. So flare your breath into your ribs. Beautiful. Well done. And then drop down so you're quite wide with your feet and heavy through your heels. Take your hands down. Push the floor away as you breathe in. Take the hands up, exhaling down. Pull that breath in, exhaling down. Lovely full breaths. Waking up mind and body. Quite invigorating big breaths. And then drop down, up and over one side, lateral stretch. Press down through the opposite heel. Good, breathing here. Full deep breath in, hold the top of the breath, exhaling out. Inhaling up and over to the other side. Flaring those ribs, shoulder away from your ears. Good, keep weight evenly through your heels so you're not pulling over here. Lovely, up and over, stretch. And then imagine you're pulling something and putting it down. Up and over, stretch, pull it down. So bend your elbow and squeeze your biceps as you pull down. And start to breathe out. Through pursed lips, as if you're blowing out a candle with a strong breath. On the action. Keep your heels firmly planted into the mat. Keep your knees bent. Thigh muscles squeezing into thigh bones. Just the torso mobilizing, getting into your obliques, sideways. Pull it down. Beautiful. Come up and give yourself a swish. So you do straighten your legs here. Fingertips nice and wide. Swishing your hands around you. Bend the knees and straighten them. Big breath in. Press the breath out. Keep the torso relatively straight. Imagine the crown of the head has a string from it going straight up towards the ceiling. So your spine stays straight. You're not kind of leaning over. Get our deep core muscles activated, spine activated. Now turn this into a discus throwing movement. So breathe in, stretch, whole body, hold it. Exhale down, breathe in, hold the top of the stretch. Breathe up, inhaling, throw the discus, exhaling, breathing in, exhaling. A couple more of these, stretching the whole body, wake yourselves up. That's it. And then just give yourself a little tap on the upper back where we have these oxytocin receptors. Wonderful. Roll your shoulders, keep your feet wide-ish, slide yourself back into goddess stance. So massaging shoulders up and back, up and back, up and back. That's it. And then just leave them dropping back down your back. Elbows in, nice loose fists here. Fabulous. So make sure your toes are not too far out, about 45 degrees. Heavy again in the heels, knees directly on top of ankles. And then as you blow out that candle, punch across the midline of the body. Again, torso stays straight. So we're just working on each punch, lifting up through pelvic floor, deep core muscles, transverse abdominals, switching on. Waking up the two hemispheres of the brain, cross happening. See if you can sink a little bit lower in your heels. Shoulders down. Make sure you're crossing enough so that you can feel your waist working. And then take it up. Cross the midline. Punching across. Punch, punch, punch. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And then again, straight ahead. Beautiful. Drop down. Take a deep breath in. And exhaling it. Breathing in and exhaling it down. Take the hands on the inside of your knees, toes in a little bit. Drop one shoulder, look over the other shoulder. Inhale into the center, drop the other shoulder down. Inhaling, dropping down. Inhaling, exhaling, dropping down. Rinsing, so we get a bit of mobilization right into that bra strap area, back into the center. Now, take your hips from side to side. So we go right into these hip joints here. Swish your tail behind you, and then start to lengthen out a little bit into the inner thighs. So start to move towards straight-ish legs. Get the heart up. Beautiful. Swish to one side. Now pull these toes back. This knee's bang on top of the ankle. Pulling toes back. Rub the inner thigh muscles. Go right up into the pelvic floor. Give them a rub. Massage. Open them up. That's it. Whew. And then switch to the other side. Pull those toes back and massage into the side. That's the way. Good. And then come back. Give yourself a little swish from side to side with your tail. And then lifting tail behind. Tuck it underneath. Roll through your spine. Lift up behind you. Exhale, tuck and roll. So on the side, it looks like this. Lifting and tucking. Mobilizing the pelvis. Good. Lifting, tucking, and then just roll your way up. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Take the hands up towards the ceiling. Stretch up. Breathe in. Bend the knees. Exhale. Slam down. Breathing in. Rolling the body upwards. Ocean wave. Exhaling. Crashing down. Push the floor away. Breathing in. Full breath in. Exhaling down. One more straight up. Now turn your body over to the left. Drop down. Use your right elbow to pull you up like a puppet on strings, lengthening out for a lateral stretch, up and over to the other side. Pull up through that left elbow, stretching side body, up, 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 and down. Take your feet, so they're about 1 meter apart. Front foot facing straight ahead, back foot turned in, so that we want to have the heel of the front foot intersecting the arch of the back foot. Keep your legs straight for this one. Arms out, shoulders down, fingertips nice and alive. Now, polish the table, get the legs straight. Polish the table forward and take that back hip and roll it forward like a train wheel. Drop down with the hand and then stack top shoulders on top of bottom shoulders. It's like you've got a rod right from your crown through to your tail here. And then take the hand up towards the ceiling. If that feels okay, give us a wave. Hello. Take the hand up and overhead. Press down through the little toe edge of the back foot. Lengthening right from fingertips to toes. Deep breath in, exhaling down. Now let your head drop a little bit. Stretch up through your middle fingers. Go right into that neck area. Fabulous. Breathing in, breathing out. Now bend the front knee. Look at the ground. Push the floor away. Slowly come up and then take your feet a little bit wider. Dropping into warrior two. Shoulders relaxed, fingers nice and vibrant. Turn the palm of the front hand and press the front heel down into the ground. Knee on top of heel. Good. Make sure this knee doesn't do funky stuff. We want to make sure that these muscles above the knee are working hard. And then push the floor away. Come into archer. Stretch the whole front line of the body. Forearm on thigh, back arm up and over, side angle. Shoulder away from ear. That's it. Push the floor away. Inhaling, archer. Exhaling, flowing into side angle. Good. Again, push the floor away. Inhaling, archer, stretch the front line of the body. Exhaling, side angle. Just pause here. Turn your chest a little bit. Press the knee slightly back with your elbow or your forearm here. And breathe. And I want you to feel that line of energy from the little toe edge lengthening right up to your fingers. That's it, shoulders away from ears. Maybe a little bit further back, a little bit of a thoracic twist here. Lovely, slowly take your hand down, look at the ground. Swivel yourself around, knees can be bent, toes in slightly like a pigeon. And then bend yourself down so that your bum sticks out behind you, hands down on the ground. Or if you've got a yoga brick, you put your hands on a brick. Now, imagine you are on a rack and you're stretching your fingertips out in front of you and your tail is being pulled back behind you. Roll your shoulders away from your ears and see if you can push down and out with your feet. So the little toe edge is plugged into your mat. Breathe deeply and feel that lovely stretch through your spine. Like I said, knees can be as bent as you want them to be, but try to lift your tail. Try not to round your lower back. Lift your tail behind you. Beautiful. Now walk your fingertips underneath your chest. Leave your left hand on the mat. Take your right hand and start to bring it up towards the ceiling. If that's not good on your shoulder, hand on hip, elbow up. If that feels okay, massage the hand around, wrist mobilization, stretching into these pectoral muscles. Lovely, and slowly come down on that side. Take the left hand up, give it the Queen's wave, mobilizing through the wrist. Lovely twisting action, about bra strap height, so we're getting into that thoracic spine. Beautiful, slowly coming down. Give yourself another stretch out, whole body stretch. Whew. Shoulders away from ears. And then bring your feet a little bit closer, heel toe a little bit closer, toes still stay out. Drop your bum down, so we come into Malasana, the squat. Knees directly on top of ankles. Doesn't matter how low you come, but please don't round your back. Imagine your tail is behind you and someone's just drawing your tail slightly up. Either forearms or elbows, gently pressing your knees a bit wider. Maybe even taking hands together. Shoulders down away from ears. Deep breath into the back of your lungs. Sigh the breath out. So feel your back muscles opening. Feel your chest slightly lifted here as we open through those adductors. We open up through the pelvic floor. Now look up towards the ceiling. And we're going to push the floor away with the heels very slowly. So on your exhalation, push the floor away. Use your leg muscles to come up. Whoo! Exhale as you come up. Inhale for a moment, let your pelvic floor drop. And then slowly come back down. Not all the way, a little bit further up. And then push the floor away, slowly coming up. Good, come back down again. Exhaling, push the floor away, coming up. Use your hands to lift you as well. So we get this lovely lifting sensation right up through the front line. Exhaling up, down. Push the floor away. Use your heels. That'll get your bum muscles working. Down. Push the floor away. Good. Push the floor away. And again, push the floor away. Come into the center here. Feet straight ahead. Arms out in front of you. Utkatasana version of the same thing. So behind slides behind you. Imagine somebody's got your tail. They're gently pulling your tail back. Your knees stay on top of your ankles, so don't let your knees draw forward. Bring yourself down into a squatting sort of position. Utkatasana, base of the ribcage drawn in here. Draw the tummy button towards your spine. And then imagine you have a basketball. Bring the basketball down. As you exhale, push the floor away, coming up, and then drop back down again. Exhale, push the floor away. Really important, the action comes from your heels pushing downwards. That's going to help glutes mobilize, strengthen. Taking the hands up, activates the extensor muscles, pelvic floor, deep core muscles, everything working. And again. And one more time. Staying up, grab hold of one wrist, lengthening up towards the ceiling. Feet pushing down and out into the mat. Up and over, lateral stretch. Smooth breath. Grab the other wrist up and over to the other side, smooth breath. Good, bend the knees, come back into the center. Trikanasana on the other side. So feet just about 1 meter apart. Back toes 45 degrees, front heel intersecting the back arch. Now back hip rolls forward as front hand stretches forward like so. So make sure this back hip rolls forward with you. Drop the hand wherever it lands. Stack the top shoulder on top of the bottom shoulder. So once you take your hand up, the weight of this hand should feel like it's just kind of dropping down here into the bottom hand. And we don't need to come all the way down here. I want you to feel this hip drawing forward, but feel a nice rotation through the thoracic spine here. Chin drawn back. Nice rod through the torso here. And then have a little play on the side where your hand comes slightly back and your bottom shoulder draws slightly forward, so we can get a really lovely twist into that thoracic area. Nice, full, slow breathing. Take the hand up and overhead now, shoulder away from your ears. So you kind of draw the shoulder back into the socket. You're pushing down and out with your feet. And if you are slightly hypermobile, just make sure you're not locking into your knees. So a tiny micro bend. And then slowly take the hand down. Oh, doesn't that feel good in your neck? Just be very mindful here though. Be mindful. Good. Bend into the front knee. Push the floor away. Slide yourself up and then land in warrior two. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Fingertips nice and vibrant. Just looking over that front hand. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, settle. Turn the palm of the front hand. And then as you inhale, push the floor away. Slide yourself up. That's it, archer. And then forearm on thigh, back arm up and over. Little toe edge to fingers stretch. All the way up on the breath in. All the way down on the breath out. Good, inhaling, opening the body. And exhaling to close. We're just going to pause here for a moment. Take the hand behind you. Plant your hands on either side of that front foot. And then slide that foot back however you can do that. You might have to grab it. And then imagine somebody's got your tail. And they're pulling your tail up towards the intersection of the wall and the ceiling. So you need to keep your knees bent to start off with while your spine stretches. Roll shoulders away from your ears. Start to kind of plant one heel and then the heel down on the ground. And massage over your feet. So you want to do a little dancey action with your feet. Maybe dropping the knees across the midline. Getting into your hips as well. And keep visualizing that tail, a little bit annoying, being pulled up behind you. So your spine gets lots and lots and lots of space between each vertebra. And then just pause with your knees bent up on your toes here. Stretch your soles. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, shake your head. Let your jaw loosen. And then as you exhale again, slide your calf muscles down through your heels, down into the ground, melting down through the back line of the body. Downward facing dog, stretching up through your tail, which is being pulled back and up. Very good. And then slowly coming down onto knees. Let your bottom come down towards your heels. If it feels better to put a pillow there, put a pillow between your thighs and your calves. Stretch your fingertips out in front of you. Fingertips on the mat, wrists are off the mat. Shoulders rolling away from ears. Fabulous long stretch through the back. Breathe in as if you have wings into the lower lobes of the back of your lungs. As if they're spreading on the inhale, and as you exhale, the wings are just dropping back in towards your back, down on the exhale. Inhale, a little bit of a flutter upwards. We're aiming for the lower lobes of the back of the lungs. Good, coming up onto hands and knees, nice wide hands here, tail up behind you. Swirl your tail around so everyone can see your fancy tail. Swirl it around behind you. Nice big mobilization of the pelvis. One direction, other direction, nice big swirly action. Good, and then let your shoulders be a bit groovy here. Let your shoulders be nice and kind of dancey. Fabulous. Bring your knees together. Drop your hips to one side. So we're going right into this IT band. Good. And then arms stay relatively straight up and over to the other side. So you can feel that right in the hips. Good, and then come up, take your right sitting bone down to about 4 o'clock. So dropping bum back to about 4 o'clock. Stretch your left hand out to about 10:30 on the clock face. Lengthening across the body. Stretching right from sitting bone to fingers. Well done. And then swish your tail to the other side. So left sitting bone going to around about 7 o'clock. Fingertips reaching to about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Beautiful. Sliding down now onto your tummy like a caterpillar. Tops of the feet on the ground. Hands beside your shoulders. Elbows in. Take a deep breath in to fill your lungs. Lift your chest a little bit. Exhale down, deflating. Inhale. And then exhale. So don't push through your hands. Just use your breath to activate your back muscles, and then lifting up, a little bit of a back bend, lifting up. Now this time slide your forearms forward into Sphinx Pose. So now you kind of pull the mat towards you with your forearms, tops of the feet pressing into the mat, a little bit activated through your knees. So knees coming, kind of sucking off the ground just a little bit. Drop one shoulder, look over the other shoulder. Inhale into the center, drop down, look over the other shoulder. So just getting a bit of a twist, a bit of mobilization through the neck and the shoulders. Exhaling. Beautiful. Coming back into the center. Just rolling onto your back to finish. Knees into chest. Take your hands on your knees. Big circles. Big circles around. So we want to get those rotator muscles around the hip joints nice and warmed up. One direction, the other direction. Big circles. And then press your feet up towards the ceiling, toes down towards you, back of the feet, the heels are pushing away. Press the back of the pelvis into your mat so you're not kind of squeezing yourself up. Rub the back of your legs, bit of warmth there. Turn your toes out, your heels are together. Rub the outside of your legs. Rubbly-dubbly-dub. And then bring your knees apart. So your feet are apart, your knees are apart, coming into baby pose. So you can grab hold of your ankles or your shins. Some of you might be able to get your fingertips and just grab the inside of your feet, the arches there. Just try not to be up off the ground with your shoulders and your head. And then relax your back, relax your shoulders down into the mat. See if you can draw your feet wide. Take a couple of long, deep breaths in. And then exhale, sigh the breath out. And it's nice to rock here as if you have got parachute strings and you pull one foot and then the other foot. Massage across your spine. Good. Nice releasing pose. Right into these inner thighs, the groin area. Lower belly is nice and relaxed. And then just drop your feet down. If it feels comfortable, let your knees drop out to the side, palms facing up. Let your head rock from side to side for a moment, and then the back of the head settles. If this is not great on your hip flexors, just let your legs flop out nice and wide. And then from your feet, draw your mind's eye right up as you inhale, right up through to the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, draw your mind's eye right down like you're flushing, releasing, inhaling, like you're pulling a white light up through from your feet, through your torso to the crown of your head. Exhaling, flushing, almost like an ocean wave down. Inhaling, filling up with fresh prana, fresh energy. Exhaling, release. And then settling for these next 30 seconds or so, just into your regular breath. And notice the sensation of your body just underneath the skin surface. So take your mind underneath the skin surface of the whole body and see if you can tap into a tingling sensation. Kind of warm vibration the prana, the life force. Mentally saying to yourself, it's going to be a good day. And putting a little smile on your face. And when you're ready, just give yourself a stretch. Oi! Take yourself into a little ball, hooking your hands underneath your knees, shoulders away from ears, but chin tucked right in, and rock and roll up and down your spine. If this does not feel good, just roll over to one side to come up. But this can be a really nice reboot for the whole system, all the way up. And then just come and sit any way that feels comfortable. That's it. Roll your shoulders. Slide one shoulder up, down your back. Shoulder the other shoulder up, slide it down your back. Find that sweet spot where your head is perfectly positioned on top of your neck. And then just take a moment, feeling the air on your skin, opening your ears so you can absorb all sound around you. Feeling your sitting bones. And then inhaling, drawing the mind's eye right up your spine, lengthening your spine right to the crown of your head. Draw the chin slightly in. Exhaling as if the whole body is relaxing down on that exhalation. Noticing how released your jaw is, how soft your cheeks are. Taking the fingertips out to the side and turn the palms to face the ceiling. And as you inhale, pull your hands up around you, open your eyes, look up towards the ceiling, hold the top of the breath. Exhale, blow. Deep breath in, energizing the hands upwards, exhaling. Last breath, inhaling all the way up, exhaling. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.